Welcome to Lyrical GenAIus, a new way to generate song lyrics.
The question of whether AI can be creative has always been on the minds of computer scientists since the beginning of time. Creativity has always been championed to be a trait that has been uniquely human and something that machines could never attain. However, we've seen computers do amazing things, whether it's Shelley, the AI storyteller, or AlphaGo, the AI that can be anyone in any board game, or AI that can paint in the style of Monet. It seems, after all, that AI may be able to attain the human creativity. So we decided to ask a new question. We decided to ask, if humans and AI work together, could they produce a product that exceeds both human creativity and AI creativity? We thought it'd be particularly interesting if we asked this question in relation to songwriting. We wanted to construct an experiment to ask who could produce the best lyrics, AI, humans, or the collaboration of humans and AI. We believe the outcomes of this experiment have far-reaching implications for all creative fields. For instance, if the combined work of humans and AI is voted the best, would that mean that we should work towards cyber musicians and artists? Overall, we see this project providing powerful insight into the future of the songwriting industry and even maybe all creative spheres.
Our solution. We tested this question by seeing who could write the best song lyrics, Turkers, AI, or a collaboration between Turkers and AI. We picked a set of 30 seed lyrics and asked each of the groups to write 3 lines that could continue the song. We posted 3 hits on Mechanical Turk to help collect and rate the lyrics. In our first hit, we asked Turkers to write lyrics to continue the seed lyrics. We then gave the same seed lyrics to our AI model and asked the AI to continue the seed lyrics. In our second hit, we asked Turkers to vote on their favorite AI lyrics. We used a majority vote to find the best AI written lyrics. These lyrics represented our human-AI collaboration group. We separated these lyrics to create 3 distinct groups of lyrics: lyrics written by Turkers, lyrics written by AI, and lyrics written by the collaboration of Turkers and AI. In our final hit, we had Turkers rate lyrics without knowing which group they came from. We then used a majority vote to find out which group produced the best lyrics. Why does crowdsourcing work for this project? Songwriting is extremely subjective, and crowdsourcing is useful for our project because we get input on subjective topics from a wide range of people. Through crowdsourcing, we were able to sample the creativity and tastes of a large and diverse array of participants rather than from a single bubble of chosen subjects. This allows us to get a truer sample of what overall human creativity is possible in terms of songwriting.
Our crowd consisted of 2 different groups. For our first hit, we had classmates from SG13 participating as our crowd, motivated by course credit and extra credit. For our second 2 hits, we posted these on Mechanical Turk. For our second hit, we paid workers 2 cents per assignment to motivate them. And for our third hit, since this was more complex and a bit more time consuming, we raised the reward price to 3 cents per hit. Here you can see an example of an assignment from our first hit where Turkers were asked to write song lyrics. First, we provided them with a first line lyric seed to start off the song, and then they were given space to type out 3 lines of lyrics to continue the song from there. Then in our second hit, we similarly provided Turkers with a first line lyric to start off the song, but then following that, we showed them 5 different lyric sets written by AI to continue the song from there, and then we asked Turkers to rate the lyrics from 1 best to 5 worst across these 5 lyric sets uniquely to indicate the quality of them, and they could do this on these scales by indicating a value from 1 to 5. Finally, for our last hit, we showed Turkers 10 different lyric sets, which included the AI-written lyrics, the human and AI collaborated lyrics, and the human-written lyrics, as well as our quality control lyric in response to the given first line lyric. And then Turkers were asked to indicate which lyric set was best, which one was the second best, and which was the third best, picking a value of 1 to 10 to indicate which of those lyric sets they wanted to choose.
For the first hit, we aggregated the results simply by compiling all the Turker-generated lyrics into a single CSV file. For the second hit, we used a simple majority vote with each set of 5 AI lyrics being voted on in 3 separate hits. For the final hit, we used a simple majority again. 3 lyrics from each of the 3 sources were put up against each other in a vote in 3 separate hits per set. We randomized the order of lyrics to remove any bias of people just voting for the first good lyric they saw. We then looked up where the top voted lyrics were sourced. This randomization, along with some formatting issues of new lines and apostrophes, caused some formatting issues in the data that took some computational finesse to work out later. As you can see on the right, the combo votes won by a landslide. Quality is a pretty hard metric to define in such a subjective task, so we tried to gauge some metric of effort as quality. From our own testing, we found that it took about 1.5 to 2 minutes to complete the first hit in good faith. We found that about 85% of the hits were completed in that time frame or longer, so we assume the quality of this hit to be acceptable. If we were to scale this project up, we could make this a strict quality measure and not consider hits completed in under 90 seconds. For the second hit, we had no quality measure since it's entirely subjective in choosing your favorite AI-generated lyric. For the final hit, we used quality control probes and excluded hits that were caught by this probe. In doing some analysis on hits that were caught by probes, we found that workers spent about 2 minutes less on these hits, validating our use of time as a quality measure in the first hit. Only 20 hits were caught by our probes.
Did the project work? We believe yes. Nonetheless, it is hard to determine how well our project worked since the data collected was subjective, and there exists no evidence to necessarily validate these opinions. Even so, our project provides some powerful insight into the future of songwriting. One thing that we found particularly interesting is the fact that the human AI collaboration lyrics received so many more votes than the AI lyrics. And we found this really interesting because we hypothesized that these would be particularly close because the humans were just filtering down the AI produced lyrics. So the AI was writing both lyrics, but the humans were filtering out the best ones for the human AI collaboration. Also, we thought it was very interesting that the AI and human writing lyrics received very similar votes. The AI received 12 votes, rather the Turkers received 16 votes. This, in light of the fact that the human AI collaboration received 157 votes, is particularly interesting. We think that this further supports how much more beneficial it could be for humans and AI working together to create songs, and we're really excited about these outcomes.